Hello, hello, and welcome to today's Learn Gujarati with Me podcast episode and, of course, YouTube video. This is Azrin, as always, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and let's dive right in. I've got two things I want to cover today. The first one is some general guidance on how to best learn Gujarati. And second of all, let me share my screen. We're going to go through the following. I'm going to read you this text. You'll get some listening practice, some reading practice if you're learning the Gujarati script. And we're going to break this all down. We'll learn lots of words, lots of grammar. It's going to be a ton of fun. But first, just some general guidance for learning Gujarati. First and foremost, almost everyone learning Gujarati, usually you know someone that speaks Gujarati. Your partner, family member, a friend, someone. You usually know at least one person, if not multiple people who speak Gujarati. I would highly recommend talking with them as often as you can, whether it be texting them, sending voice notes, talking face to face, phone calls, as often as you can, and try to use as much Gujarati as you can with the people that you know. Second of all, I would recommend doing some reading practice. Now, this can be done one of two ways. If you're not learning the Gujarati script, which some Gujarati learners don't, your best bet is to use something like ChatGPT or any other AI platform. And you ask the AI to write you some beginner level text and include the transliteration. So you want to ask it to write a Gujarati text, basic Gujarati text, include the English transliteration, and include the English translation. That's going to give you a Gujarati text. It's going to give you like Gujarati written in like an ABC alphabet, and you'll get the translation underneath. So I'd highly, highly, highly recommend that as a way to get your reading practice. If you can read the Gujarati script, I mean, honestly, you can do the same thing if you want, use ChatGPT, things of that nature. You could also use an app, for example, like what I've got here, which is the app Link. And there are lots of, I'd probably recommend starting with the Link mini stories. There are mini stories in the app, which are written for beginners. There's about 60 of them, something to that effect. There's also like a storybook Canada. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the app already. And once you get used to the Link app, you'll see there's other features that are going to help you in your listening and reading comprehension. Lots of listening will also help you tremendously. If you're someone who is learning the Gujarati script, which I highly recommend, by the way, really, really helps a lot. But another thing you can very, very easily do is watch videos in Gujarati and look up the words you don't know. Turn the subtitles on, read the Gujarati subtitles, look up any words you don't know. It's something I would highly recommend doing. And of course, last but not least, I mean, use this YouTube channel. Like we always go through lots of texts and audios and things like that. I give you resources to use. I give you exercises, like really work through these one by one diligently. And that'll help you tremendously, right? The purpose of this YouTube channel is to have a resource that didn't exist when I was learning Gujarati. When I was learning Gujarati, there was like pretty much zero resources, almost zero resources. So I had to literally figure the language out. No one could teach it to me. And I promised myself that one day I'd make something for people, make something that I wish I had when I was learning Gujarati. So that's the purpose of this channel. That's the purpose of the podcast. That's why I make these lessons for you. So with that aside, let me share my screen and we're going to go through today's Gujarati lesson. Here we go. I'm also going to clip this over here. Kind of on both my hands. Okay. Kind of a pet peeve, fun fact, is pet peeve that this, I don't like the design of this microphone because it see how it points away from my face? I want it to be like that, but it doesn't stay that way. Also, I've got a bit of a rash, as you can see on my neck. Kind of annoying. I've got like an allergic reaction to something, so I got that happening. So anyway, let me share my screen and I'll read you the following text. Okay, first time through, I'll read it without pausing, and then we'll go through line by line. Gaya mahine, Rina let's start that again. Gaya mahine, Rina ane teno mitro jai Udaipur ગયા હતા. તેઓ 2 દિવસ માટે ત્યાં રહ્યા. શહેર ખૂબ સુંદર હતું અને ત્યાં ઘણા પ્રવાસીઓ હતા. તેઓ સવારે હોટેલમાંથી બહાર નીકળ્યા અને જૂના બજારમાં ગયા. રીનાને હાથથી બનાવેલી વસ્તુઓ બહુ ગમે છે. બપોરે તેઓ એક નાની રેસ્ટોરન્ટમાં ગયા. ખાવાનું થોડું તીખું હતું પરંતુ ખૂબ સ્વાદિષ્ટ હતું. રેસ્ટોરન્ટના માલિકે તેમની સાથે વાત કરી. સાંજે તેઓ તળાવ પાસે બેઠા. ઘણા લોકો સંગીત સાંભળતા હતા અને વાતો કરતા હતા. રીનાએ કહ્યું કે તેને આ શહેર ખૂબ ગમ્યું. Okay, let's break this down line by line. Sentence view. Okay. ગયા મહિને રીના અને તેનો મિત્રો જય ઉદયપુર ગયા હતા. So ગયા મહિને, last month, Rina, the person's name, અને તેનો મિત્ર Jay, so and her friend Jay, Udaipur ગયા હતા. And as a reminder, the word like teno, for example, let me actually type that on the screen for you. Right, the word teno, for example, in spoken language, we can absolutely say eno. So eno mitra Jay, for example. ગયા મહિને રીના અને એનો મિત્ર જય ઉદયપુર ગયા હતા. We're going to see a lot of past tense in this text, and so if you haven't studied or rather watched the past tense videos on this channel, please go do that first. That'll help you a lot. So ગયા મહિને રીના અને તેનો મિત્ર જય ઉદયપુર ગયા હતા. So last month, Rina and her friend Jay went to Udaipur. Yeah, anything else I want to say on this? Last thing I'll say, it's kind of a reminder, I suppose. In this part here, right here, Gaya hata, we can absolutely just cut that out and just say Gaya. Gaya maine Rina ane teno mitra Jay Udaipur gaya. That's perfectly fine. Some dialects you might say Gya, Udaipur Gya, for example, as opposed to Gaya, which is also fine in some dialects or some accents. Okay, chalo, let's keep going. Teo બે દિવસ માટે ત્યાં રહ્યા. So they stayed there for 2 days. As a reminder, the word teo in spoken language, we can absolutely say eloko. It's actually more common. Eloko બે દિવસ માટે ત્યાં રહ્યા. They stayed there for 2 days. Yeah, there's probably not much to say here. Raya is kind of like stayed, past tense. Tya is like there, so they 2 days for there stayed. Sounds kind of funny like that, but yeah, pretty straightforward. એ લોકો બે દિવસ માટે ત્યાં રહ્યા. શહેર ખૂબ સુંદર હતું. So the city was very beautiful. શહેર ખૂબ સુંદર હતું. So again, the city was very beautiful. Khub, Khub. Let's write that on the screen for you. Right, Khub is pretty much the same as bow. Right, bow and Khub are pretty much the same thing. Yeah, pretty much, very very similar. Bow can also mean a lot, right? Whereas Khub, actually even Khub sometimes some people could use it like a lot. Yeah, they're pretty much synonyms, pretty much. So શહેર ખૂબ સુંદર હતું ને ત્યાં ઘણા પ્રવાસીઓ હતા. Pravasio are tourists, as you can see highlighted in yellow. I'll just put that on the screen for you. Pravasio hata. So ત્યાં ઘણા પ્રવાસીઓ હતા. ઘણા, by the way, in case you don't know the word, probably know it, but maybe not. Ghana is also like a lot or many. Well, like many, actually. Many is a better translation. ત્યાં ઘણા પ્રવાસીઓ હતા. So શહેર ખૂબ સુંદર હતું અને ત્યાં ઘણા પ્રવાસીઓ હતા. Okay, next line here. Oops. That was weird. There we go. તેઓ સવારે હોટેલમાંથી બહાર નીકળ્યા અને જૂના બજારમાં ગયા. So again, તેઓ in spoken language can be એ લોકો સવારે હોટેલમાંથી બહાર નીકળ્યા અને જૂના બજારમાં ગયા. એ લોકો સવારે હોટેલમાંથી બહાર નીકળ્યા ને જૂના બજારમાં ગયા. So they left the hotel in the morning. એ લોકો સવારે, so they in the morning. Savare we've seen many times on this channel. Savare is in the morning. Hotelમાંથી, so hotel is hotel. Hotelમાં, in the hotel. Hotelમાંથી, from inside of the hotel. So they, in the morning, from the inside of the hotel, Bar nikadiya. So bar is like outside. I can write that on the screen for you. Spelled bahar, but it's usually pronounced bar. So bahar is outside. So એ લોકો સવારે હોટેલમાંથી બહાર નીકળ્યા. નીકળ્યા is like they left or they exited, something like that. નીકળવું is to નીકળવું is like to exit or to go out. Right? So they exited, they went out, right? બહાર નીકળ્યા, they left, they went out, right? ને જૂના બજારમાં ગયા. જૂના means old, right? So જૂના બજારમાં, they went to the old bazaar, the old market. જૂના બજારમાં ગયા. Easy peasy. Okay. Next one here. રીનાને હાથથી બનાવેલી વસ્તુઓ બહુ ગમે છે. રીનાને હાથથી. You know what's funny actually is I'm thinking of હાથથી. I'm actually wondering if some people say hatheti as well. I'm going to think about that after I record this. But anyway, રીનાને હાથથી બનાવેલી વસ્તુઓ બહુ ગમે છે. So Rina likes things made by hand. Hathi, so hat is your hand. Hathi is with your hands, right? Banaveli, right? So let's put banaveli here. So banaveli. Banaveli means made, right? Now, if we have something that's made, and it's masculine, like banaveli, we can have different genders for that. Banavela, banavelo. Like there's a lot of different choices there. So banaveli vastu. Vastu is things, right? Or vastuo in this case. Vastu, thing. Vastuo, things, right? So Rina ne hathi banaveli vastuo bau gamme che. She really likes them a lot. Bau gamme che. Okay. Next here. Bapore teo ek nani restaurant ma gaya. Bapore e loco, or teo e loco, whatever. Teo e loco ek nani restaurant ma gaya. They went to a small restaurant, but in the afternoon. Bapore. Bapore is the afternoon. Bapore in the afternoon, right? Bapor, afternoon, right? Bapore in the afternoon. So bapore e loco. So yeah, I read that a few times already. So they went to a small restaurant. That's pretty easy. ખાવાનું થોડું તીખું હતું. So the food was a little bit spicy. ખાવાનું is a word for food. There's many words for food, but ખાવાનું is one of them. થોડું means a little bit. So થોડું, you probably already know that word, probably. થોડું, a little bit. તીખું is spicy. So થોડું તીખું હતું. Parantu, I'm not sure if we've seen that on this channel. Maybe yes, maybe not. Parantu is kind of a fancy word for but. You could simply say pan if you want, right? Pan, khub swadisht, swadisht hatu. Swadisht is delicious. Swadisht, which we've seen this word before on this channel. Pan or parantu, khub swadisht hatu. So it's a little bit spicy, but very delicious. I feel like all Indian food's a little bit spicy and delicious, no? Anyway. Okay. Restaurant na malike temni sathe વાત કરી. So the owner of the restaurant, malik means owner. That's a new word for you guys, almost certainly. Malik, it's the owner. Right? So restaurant na malike, right? Malike. Remember in the past tense, in the simple past tense, we had a in the simple past tense, like Malik a, Rina a, Ezran a, like someone a in the simple past tense. We always do that. So Malik temni sathe. Again, temni in spoken language could just be emni sathe. Emni sathe means with them, right? With them, or with him or her as well. Emni sathe, with him, her, or them. Emni represents formality often as well, especially when it's in the singular. In the plural, not necessarily, but in the singular for sure, it's more formal. So emni sathe vat kari. Vat kari is they spoke. Bolia, right? He spoke. E bolia, vat kari, same thing. Bolia, vat kari, kind of the same thing, really. Okay. Next one here. Sanje teo tarao pase betha. So in the evening, they went and they sat by the river, by the lake. Tarao, let me type a couple words here. Tarao is the word for lake. Tarao, lake. It's spelled tarav, but it's pronounced tarao. The V's are often pronounced as W's in Gujarati, often. Pase is kind of like near, right? Pase. See, when you say, by the way, some of you might know how to say like I have in Gujarati. Mari pase, blah, 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 che would be like I have, blah, blah, blah. Right? Mari pase, blah, 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 che. Mari pase phone che, computer che, right? And what you're actually saying is, by my, like near me, there is a computer. Near me, there's a phone. That's what you're really saying. That's the Gujarati way of saying I have something as a fun fact. So Sanje in the evening, Tarao pase betha, right? They sat near the Tarao, right? Betha is like sat, right? Yeah, they sat near the Tarao, they sat near the lake. Easy. ઘણા લોકો સંગીત સાંભળતા હતા ને વાતો કરતા હતા, right? Or even વાત કરતા હતા really could also work. So ઘણા લોકો, so a lot of people, many people. Sangeet is music. So ઘણા લોકો સંગીત સાંભળતા હતા. So they were listening to music. સાંભળતા હતા. They were listening to music. ને વાત or વાતો કરતા હતા. ને વાત કરતા હતા. And they were talking. That's a pretty easy sentence, roughly speaking, anyway. રીનાએ કહ્યું કે તેને આ શહેર ખૂબ ગમ્યું. રીનાએ કહ્યું કે તેને આ શહેર ખૂબ ગમ્યું. Again, તેને could just be ene in spoken language, right? એને આ શહેર ખૂબ ગમ્યું. So Rina said, રીનાએ કહ્યું. કહ્યું is the past tense of to say, right? મેં કહ્યું, એને right? કહ્યું, right? So રીનાએ કહ્યું કે, so Rina said that એને or તેને આ શહેર, this city, ખૂબ ગમ્યું. Khub is a word you probably, maybe you know this word by now, probably, maybe not. Khub is like a lot. And then, oops, I think I knocked something over there. What did I knock over? Not sure what that was, so I'll figure it out after. Anyway, gamyu is the past of gamme, liked. So it's like liked in the past, right? So if we look at this text here, I'll actually kind of, let me erase this and go back in the full screen view, in the page view. Right, it's kind of interesting. This is probably the very first text on this entire YouTube channel we've looked at that really mixes multiple past tenses, right? So we have Gaya Maine, Rina ane teno mitra jai, Udaipur gaya hata. That's like a simple past. Last month, they went to Udaipur. Gayata, gyata, right? Like that's like a one-time, remember, simple past is when we do it like a one-time thing. એ લોકો 2 દિવસ માટે ત્યાં રહ્યા. Again, simple past, ત્યાં રહ્યા. 2 days, like it's done, one time thing, right? શહેર ખૂબ સુંદર હતું. That's more of an imperfect past tense. ત્યાં ઘણા પ્રવાસીઓ હતા. Again, imperfect past tense. More of a description, right? એ લોકો સવારે હોટેલમાંથી બહાર નીકળ્યા. So that's like a simple past again. બહાર નીકળ્યા, simple past. અને જૂના બજારમાં ગયા. Simple past again, right? When you have those sequences of events, one event, then the next event, like that sequence of event, those are all usually, simple past tense, one after another. રીનાને હાથથી બનાવેલી વસ્તુઓ બહુ ગમે છે. That's present tense, right? બહુ ગમે છે in the present, right? બપોરે એ લોકો નાની રેસ્ટોરન્ટમાં ગયા. Again, simple past tense. ખાવાનું થોડું તીખું હતું. More of a imperfect tense. Again, because we have a description, right? Description. Parantu khub swadisht hatu. Again, swadisht, I hate that word. I really don't like it. Swadisht hatu. Again, imperfect past tense because we have a description, right? Descriptions warrant an imperfect past tense. Restaurant na malike temni sathe vat kari, right? So again, simple past tense because it's a one-time thing. Sanje teo tarao pase betha. Again, simple past. ઘણા લોકો સંગીત સાંભળતા હતા. That's an imperfect past tense, like a continuous action. They were listening to music. અને વાતો કરતા હતા. Like again, imperfect past tense. It's an ongoing action, right? Vinay કહ્યું કે તેને આ શહેર બહુ ખૂબ ગમ્યું. Again, that's simple past. So this is a nice, probably the first time we have a text that's really mixing and matching both the two primary past tenses that we have in the Gujarati language. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. We're going to see a lot more text like this. I think it's really important to really give you guys like, you know, my whole thing with this YouTube channel and the podcast, it really is like genuinely I want people to become fluent in Gujarati. Like that is a genuine goal. And every time I sit down to record lessons, it's thinking through like, what can we do here? What can I do? What can I tell you? What advice can I give? What can we do in these videos, these video lessons to really make sure that you become as fluent as you want to become, whether that's super duper fluent and fully fluent like it's English, maybe just conversational, just the basics, wherever you want to make it to. I want to make sure you get there. That's my big focus, right? And I think just lots and lots of examples of different tenses, different grammar points, the same words in different contexts. A lot of those different examples is something that can really help. So anyway, hope you guys like the lesson. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or just email me. Go to my website. There's a link in the episode description box. See you next time. Bye. Auto.